Hello, guys. Respect and greetings to every one of you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, due to popular demand, I want to give you a breakdown of the proof of funds that is needed to study in Canada. That is the proof of funds because many of you don't know how this thing is calculated. Many of you don't have any idea. And many of you are also thinking, oh, maybe this person can bring a certain amount they will give them if you package your documents well. Maybe this one can even bring a lower amount than that if you package your documents well. No, there is a standard of amount that IRCC, that is Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship of Canada, is expecting you to have in your account. There is a minimum they are expecting you to have in your bank account. You understand? And before now, many people have reached out to me because I talk to people from all over the world on a regular basis. Many people have reached out to me. They will be telling me this the amount they have, and they want to go for study in Canada, and they are planning to add their spouse and maybe two children to the package. Like they just want to relocate to Canada through study, like to go and study there, and eventually, if things goes well for them, they can eventually get a job or whatever it is. But I would be surprised that these people are unaware that if you have a certain amount that would have been able to take one person to study in Canada successful when it comes to visa application, if you are adding your spouse, they will automatically deny you too. Because the more the people, the higher the amount IROCC expects you to have in your bank account. Many of you don't know this. Sometimes some people will call me, let's say in Nigeria, they will say, oh, I have 15 million naira in my account. I just want to relocate to Canada. I'm going for school. I want to carry my husband. I want my husband to go with me and three of my children. I will be like, have you done the exchange rate? Schooling in Canada is not as cheap as many people think because of the current exchange rates. I know over here I have subscribers from many parts of Africa: Kenya, Uganda, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Congo, Senegal, so forth and so on. So you can do this calculation in your local currency so that you have an idea. Because I have seen cases where people, after applying, they will now be telling me, oh, I applied for Canada. I got an admission in Canada, a school in Canada, and I have done my visa application. But when these people will be telling me their proof of funds, me, I know it will be difficult for IROCC to give them visa. It will be difficult because you are sometimes the fund you have that cannot even sustain one person in Canada, because the money is big in your local currency. You think you can add your wife, you, and your three children or four children to go and live in Canada inside that money. So it's automatic denial because Canada, they already have responsibilities already. Like we already know, people are sleeping in the streets in Canada, so they don't want more burden. So they will make sure you are coming to that country to add value. You understand? So that is how it is. So this is how this fund is calculated. Normally, IRCC wants to make sure that you can take care of tuition, transportation, and living expense. You understand? Because your living expenses, you have to be able to take care of it. IRCC don't want to hear, oh, I am coming first. My father will be sending the feeding allowance and transportation allowance for me. No, they don't. IRCC don't want to hear that. They want to make sure that you have all the monies ready. Even if you are doing a 2 years program, they need the money to be in your account. They are not expecting somebody from your country, from Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, to send you money for there to pay tuition. They expect to have all the monies. So this is how the breakdown is, for those of you who don't know. Now, let me give you an example. If you are schooling outside Quebec in Canada, in most cases, IRCC expects you. You understand? Okay, let me do it like this so that it will be easy for you. Let's say you are doing a 1 year program, and that 1 year program is $15,000 a year for tuition. I'm giving an example. Ordinarily, if you are paying $15,000 a year for that 1 year program, IROCC is expecting you to have additional $10,000 in your account, because transportation, living expenses is inside that $10,000. Outside the $15,000 you will be paying for tuition. This is why schooling in Canada is becoming expensive, because the exchange rate in Africa, especially in Nigeria, is not even helping issues. Now, we are assuming you are paying $15,000 as tuition. You are paying, the IRCC expects to have $10,000 extra as expenses, for expenses like transportation and what is it called? Living expenses for 1 year. Now, you are taking flights. So let me use Nigeria as a case study. Let's say you are taking flight for like $1,500. Here in America, they call it $1,500. So $15,000 for tuition, the $10,000 IRCC expects to have in your account, that is $25,000 Canadian. This dollars is in Canadian, not US. $1,500 for flight tickets, that is $26,500. This is the amount IRCC is expecting you to have in your bank account as your proof of funds before they will give you visa, outside having family ties and other things. $26,500 is what you must have in your account if your tuition is $15,000. That is if you are schooling outside Quebec in Canada. Now we have calculated $26,500 for one person. Sometimes there are tuitions that are cheaper than this, but I'm using $50,000 here as an example. Now we have calculated $26,500. Now you say you want to add maybe your husband or your wife. That is, you're adding your spouse. If you are adding your spouse, IROCC expects you to add $4,000 for your spouse. They are assuming that will be upkeep, because your spouse cannot live inside that $10,000. So plus your spouse is an additional $4,000. I'm talking about when you are applying for visa. This is the proof of funds when you apply for visa. Your spouse, $4,000. Flight ticket for your spouse, $1,500, because your spouse is going to take flight. So they want to see all these monies in your bank statement. So for you alone, we calculated $26,500. Now, for your spouse, $5,500. How much is that? 5,500 plus 26,500. That is $32,000 for you and your spouse. I'm just telling you the way it is. There is no mago, no joro. Now, $32,000 for you and your spouse. Now, let's say you are going with one child. Per child, IROCC is expecting you to add an additional $3,000. That will be $35,000. Now, flight ticket for that child, $1,500. That is $36,500. Just like that, this is how it is calculated. I am bringing this to you so that you have an idea. Information is power. You understand? This is how proof of funds for study visa For student visa, this is how it is calculated. It will be difficult if you don't have this amount for visa to be given to you. I know there is nothing God cannot do. I just say, let me bring this thing to your notice because many of you are not aware of this. Please, thank you very much for your support. Keep supporting me. Tell me what you think about this video. If you have any question to ask, put it in the comment section of this video. And follow Noxacomedy on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Please give this video a fat thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Till I see you in my next video. Respect and greetings to every one of you.